Hi there, it's Vladimir. This is 12th day of my commitment to talk to the camera every day for 10-15 minutes and practice my public speaking skills. Now, before starting this self-talk, I'd like to set a few goals, which I'm gonna focus on while talking. The first goal is my body language. I'm gonna improve my body language by paying attention to all my movements which I do while talking. So I'd like to get rid of all inconsistencies and speak with my gestures as well as with my words. Another goal is to focus on my grammar and pronunciation and get rid of filler words. So I'm really confused by my inability to speak clearly. It's a big problem for me when I listen to my own videos after I record them and I hear all the time, it's like, it's like. I hate that. And this goal, which I'm gonna set at the beginning of every video, is aimed to improve my ability to speak clearly. So avoiding all filler words and focusing on silent pauses. Another goal is to look directly into the camera. It's also hard. I know that it's very important when I have a conversation with other people to look directly into their eyes. And on our speaking club, as you may see, it's kind of, people don't usually do that. Very few people, when they speak, look to the eyes of other people. Most of them look up or down or aside and are focused on their language, on their thoughts. They're not focused on communication. They're not focused on, delivering a message, making contact. They are focused on how they are saying what they're saying, but it's not important. I'm not going to criticize anybody. I won't just say that I want to look directly into the camera, and it helps me to establish eye contact with people when I have real conversations. And the fourth thing which I'd like to do, it's a new goal. It came to me just today, and it's funny. I'd like to practice a kind of unusual way of speaking, and I'd like to keep my hand during the whole speech like that. So I just like to see how long I'm capable to keep my hand like that. When I get tired, I'll probably point it out and put it down. But now it's like my goal is to speak for the next 10 minutes or probably 10 minutes and keep my hand like that. Okay, so today I would like to talk about meditation. I guess it's kind of unusual because now I'm not going to teach you English, I'm not going to teach you anything, and I would like to tell you a story about thinking in English. If you know me a little bit, closer, you may understand that it's like my goal and purpose for last 3.5 years was to shift my thinking from Russian to English. And I pretty well accomplished that. I'm still not perfect in my speech, but I don't need to think in Russian, in my native language. Whenever I talk, I think in English. It's like whenever I talk in English, I think in English. I don't translate from my Russian language. And I do it also when I like when I don't talk in my head, like most of the time while I am awake, I'm thinking in English, except for the cases where I deliberately practice thinking in Russian. So, thinking in English, I would like to tell you how I came to that, because I probably said something about it before, but I didn't say what I'm gonna say right now, because I think I didn't understand that myself, and only now I can see it better. Uh, but before to get to that, I'd like to say that it's already very hard to keep my hand. It's like it's shaking. It makes me feel pain here and here, and I think it makes me really. It's like it makes the whole. It's like it makes me feel uncomfortable, and I'd like to put it down. It's like it was just training. It was just 2 minutes or even less. It was hard. Next time, I'd like to try to do it a little bit longer. So instead of 2 minutes, I would like to keep it for 3 or 4 minutes. I see that to keep it for 10 minutes is impossible, because otherwise I wouldn't say anything about what I'd like to say. And instead I'll just complain that it's hard to keep my hand like that. Okay, let's put it down. Now, meditation and thinking in English. Okay, let me drink a cup of what? Water, just water. I want to warn you that this is a kind of advanced stuff. So if you would try to repeat what I'm gonna tell you, I'm not responsible for for any consequences. I tell you, it's very hard. You have to have at least a couple of years of practice of meditation, because otherwise you may just get mad. And I'm not kidding. You may really get mad if you will repeat this technique. So I was practicing meditation before I started thinking in English for 4 years. I started at 2013, and for 3 years, I guess, not for three. And in 2016, this idea came to my mind. You know, in this spiritual circle, people tend to think that thinking is something destructive. Like people like Alan Watts, for example, they call it like shattering, not shattering, but what was the word? Uh, chatter in the skull, perpetual and compulsive repetition of words. So the idea is that to be present, you shouldn't think. Of course, if you communicate with people, you may speak, but all the time when you don't communicate with people, you shouldn't think, because thinking leads you either to the future, or it's like it's fantasies, imagination, or to your memories in the past. You can't be present while you're thinking. You may describe what's going on, but it's not actually thinking. And the problem is it's something like describing in your head. It's also makes you distracted from actually doing and accomplishing stuff. So the point is that in order to be present, you have to stop your inner dialogue. So you have to stop worrying about future, you have to stop worrying about past, and you have to focus on actions. And the problem with that is that it's almost impossible. So that's why you do meditation, and you see that you can't just sit and be present. Your mind always wanders in the past or in the future. And to stop it, there's a very amazing technique. So you may use another language, a foreign language, let's say. And anytime when you find yourself in this mental state, and you just think about future or past, and your goal is to focus your attention on this present moment, you may use foreign language, and that's bloody awesome. So as soon as you create this kind of as soon as you start using foreign language to focus your attention on present, you learn to stop thinking about past and future in your native language. And what it leads to is that you start using this foreign language to think. Because if you are capable to focus your attention on this present moment and on your actions by using a foreign language, and by the way, it's like how many words do you think you have to know to do that? Just one word. It's the word attention. So you learn the word attention in a foreign language. For example, if you study Russian, you may remember the word внимание. And at any moment when you, and let's suppose that your native language is English and you want to stop wandering, it's like you want to stop your mind wandering in all directions and focus on actions. So you learn one word and you start controlling your mind with this word. So whenever you find yourself thinking about something, whatever it may be, you just remember a word from a foreign language, внимание, and you, oh, okay, it's like I see, I see. It's like it's not my goal. I need to stop thinking, and you use this as a tool to control your mind. But then you start you start learning this foreign language, not just control, because it gets boring very quickly. So it's almost impossible. If you know just one word, you may control. It's like if you are inspired too much by some guru or by some book or whatever may inspire you. If you know just one word, you'll get bored in an hour, in a few days, in a month, but you'll get bored. But if you start learning a foreign language to control your mind, to be present, that's where thinking begins. So you start to really, like you create a kind of government which controls. It's not, when you have just one language, it's basically like it establishes, it's established in you from the very childhood. And the main purpose of it is just control your body. And it's like language, of course, you may think that you are the language, or you may think I am a body, and language is something different. It's like, Cartesian, like dualism, mind and body. But again, it's like when you have just one language, it's almost impossible to stop this process. It's almost impossible to stop thinking. But when you start using another language, a foreign language, for exactly this purpose, like to stop thinking, to stop your native thinking, you start thinking in a foreign language. And that's what makes it like so unbelievably powerful. So when you start thinking, 2017, when I first started recording these English talks, and you might go on YouTube and see like my first talk where I was just staying and I don't know what to say, I don't know. It's like this was my first talk, and I tried to explain it, but it was almost impossible to explain. I mean, I tried to tell myself, okay, what am I doing? I'm just trying to think in this language. What does it mean to think? I'm just trying to focus my attention on what's going on and to choose what's really important, what I should do, while I should do that, etc. And I'm trying to control my Russian brain. I'm trying to stop it from wandering into the future, into the past, wherever. I'm trying to control it. And and since my language was so weak, it was almost impossible. But then I started learning more, and eventually I got to the point where I was able to think in English for half of the day, and I was able to speak for an hour to myself about everything what was going on. And from that point, it started being really engaging. So I started learning language more, and I was learning it for all day long. I mean, I didn't have anything else to do, and I was learning. Like, I was reading books, I was watching videos, I was writing, I was thinking for many hours every day. It was very stupid, like basic level, and by thinking, I mean I was paying attention to what I was doing, and I was explaining to myself what was going on. So if I read a book, of course, I'm thinking about reading a book. If I just go around in the street, I'm thinking about this process, like where do I go? Where am I going? Why am I going there? Like, what's the purpose? What I want to achieve? What is going on around? Like, who are all these people around, etc. Okay, I think I don't have more time to talk about it right now. I'll probably return to it in the future. Make sure that you really understand. If you just want to try this technique, make sure that you really understand what you're doing, because you may get mad very quickly. The point is, you have to have at least a couple of years of practice of meditation. Then it's going to be a little bit more, safe. But no, it's my experience. I'm telling you about my experience. Yes, it's like few things. Well, I don't have time even to talk about my project, which is studying public speaking by watching lots of famous speeches. I'll talk about it next time. So for now, it's done. Bye bye. Subscribe to my channel and write comments. It's gonna be beneficial for both, for you and me. For now, bye bye.